A very good evening to you traders. Mark here from Day Trading Room. Time is 20 past 8 on a Sunday evening London time. Hope you're all very well and had a great week trading. Very light trading for me last week on the day trading front, specifically on the day trading front. Was attending to other bits and pieces. One of those was moving office. Let me see if I can find a picture for you. There's the old office. So out of there, looking forward to moving to my new one. So because of that, very much focused on swing trades last week that don't require you to be in front of the screen all the time. You can run the scans or whatever you do, whatever you're looking for. And my swing trade account is basically trades have got to jump out at me. Yeah, I'm not going looking for trades. I'm not getting specifically very focused on one or two stocks. I'm basically saying this is the setup I want. These are the setups that I want. Show me some interesting charts and my scans will throw up some things in the universe of US stocks and UK stocks that I've got, and other futures markets and the occasional currency pair that I won't perhaps be watching actively, that'll throw up something and say, have a look at this might be interesting, and then I'll run through, and if something catches my eye, then I'll take the trade. But generally, there's several filters. There's like a several stage process to that to me. But one of the things I like to look at, and actually next week we've got earnings season starting off, so this is again very good time if you're a swing trader, if you're a position trader, great time to to be more actively looking or actively engaged in looking for setups after earnings dates. Anyway, GameStop Corp GME came out with earnings on Thursday, not last week, a week ago, 2 weeks on Thursday, 27th of March. Now, this is on my list because there's reasonable volume. You can trade it normally. It's present quite tight. And another thing is 31% of the float is short. Now that to me is a nice little bonus, that if I get some upside, if I get a trade setting up to the upside, and it's got a short float on it, then that's an extra reason for me to take the trade. And I need all those reasons. I pass on a load of stuff swing trading. I'm not interested in taking substandard things. I want things that are setting up very nicely and tick a lot of boxes. I'm very I've got a very aggressive filtering system that I won't take stuff that doesn't tick, doesn't really pass muster. So anyway, GameStop came out and it was looking quite weak at the open. It gapped down quite heavily. The news was something about closing stores. Doesn't matter, you don't need to be interested in it. You just need to see what happens. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm not really that bothered about it, but it flagged up the next day as it happened to put in a reasonable wick on a daily after earnings. Now I like that sort of sentiment. If you look, there it is there. I like that sort of setup and sentiment because intraday change in sentiment means something interesting is happening. Now if you're short, look at all these shorts. They've been hurt from here, but they've had quite a good time from this top point here. Gap down here, another gap down here. And if you're a hedge fund or whatever, you're going to be holding a short, looking for these gaps because you're betting on the management failing, the company struggling. So you're going to be holding through earnings, looking for a further gap lower. And I think the fact that we did gap lower but it reversed back up possibly made a few shorts come into the thing and look to cover. And that's what's really alerted me. And on the Friday, I set myself an alarm and said, listen, if we fill that gap from Wednesday and we undo all of that earnings, we're back to where we were on Wednesday night with that bad news, if you like, then I'm going to look for a long, because I think we've got the catalyst of the shorts maybe covering. We've got that catalyst of maybe trapping a few more to the downside. We've got a catalyst of it going up even with bad news. So that's good. And then what I do is I will, once I've got the alert and I've got the premise, everything's lined up, I'm then going to zoom in on a lower time frame chart. It goes off, I'll then log in, look whatever I need to do, zoom in, and then take the trade on something I'm looking for. And this happened to be the opportunity here. And this is actually why I think tape reading is so powerful. Not only if you're a short-term trader, a short-term scalper, intraday trader, whatever it may be. But if you are a position trader, if you can't sit and watch the markets all day long, if you prefer to swing trade, you prefer to position trade once a week, once every couple of days, once a month, whatever it may be, you can still use the skill to fine tune the entry using a scalper's entry and then using a swing trader's premise, because it just gives you that extra little, you're just adding layers of edge as you go. So anyway, it just like to consolidate here at this level that I was interested in. and the tape just looked great there for a pop through. It didn't pull back much, but the tape just gave me the buy signal, and I took the trade. So I took the trade long. I only took it. I gave myself room to have another scale in it because we had to run up quite a lot. And I thought the VWAP was probably around here. We could have pushed up. Tape is a great short-term indicator. It gives you a great idea of what's going to happen in the next few minutes or so, or for a few seconds to a few minutes. But then subsequently, obviously, you can break out for 5 or 6 minutes and then roll back again, and the tape will change as the market goes. So even though you get this sort of leg into the trade and get a little bit of a cushion on the trade, I don't want to be too aggressive because subsequently it could roll back, maybe tag the VWAP and then carry on. That's the sort of thing that's perfectly feasible for a trade like that. But it didn't happen, and it just chugged on and on and on and got a really nice high close. So at that point now I just left it and left the trade to run. My target for the trade was to fill the gap here, around here, just to undo all that work. And I'm not looking for multi-week holds. When I say swing trading or position trading, it's 3 to 5 day type things, maybe a bit more. If it goes on a little bit longer, then so be it. But I'm not looking to sit through massive amounts of movement. I'm just looking for that higher probability multi-day move based on a catalyst that I've been given. So that's what happened, and we had 1, 2, 3. It comes to the fourth day, and we gapped up again and pushed up a nice opening drive, and the tape came into play at this point too. Excuse me. Double topped, just saw really aggressive selling coming in, so ended up dumping it. I wasn't even far really from my target. I think it was maybe 20 or 30 cents away, so it's close enough. And the fact that we'd gone for 4 days without any real pullback, just said, okay, that's enough, that's close enough to the target. I can't ignore the tape that's in front of me at the moment. And yeah, it was a nice trade. I mean, subsequently, yes, it consolidated, then pushed up Thursday, Friday, and there was some clown upgraded on Friday, hilarious. And if you're in a stock and you get a multi-day move and then someone upgrades it, and it gaps up on an upgrade, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. If I was still in at that point and I saw the upgrade, it's just a perfect way to sell into all the people buying on the upgrade. They can just feed them the stock, just let them have it. And it's interesting, isn't it? Thursday bad news, we rallied. Friday supposedly good news on this particular stock upgrade, and it came back down. So that's just showing the psychology of the market. So it was a nice trade. It was a good trade. It was a good swing trade. It just worked for me. It had no heat on it, and but you've got to put the preparation in. You've got to be prepared for it, and it's got to set up, and yeah, it worked. Another one very quickly, or the last one actually very quickly that I did was on this King IPO. Came out IPO'd at 23.50, I believe. On Wednesday, just got absolutely massacred. It didn't go anywhere near that level. I just rolled all the way back down. And on Thursday, and my premise in my head is, okay, well, it's potential that they're going to push it back up to the 23.50 level, because if you look at the whole range of IPOs, the people who make the most money are the banks that do the IPO, and obviously the company that's doing the IPO. Then you get the people who are buying at the IPO price, the institutions. Then you used to get the active traders straight out the gate buying the IPO at the open, and everyone makes money a little bit less as you go along down the line, right to the end, till it's the guys who are chasing the highs that get caught holding the bag. But that's really been filtered right out. We're now got to a stage where obviously buying at the open is no longer a guaranteed making money strategy as it was years ago for IPOs, and even now going down to the people who are buying at IPO price, which used to be just free money. Look at this King 23.50, and it didn't go anywhere near it. It's just no one's making money out of that. So my thought was, okay, got a load of bad press, let the press die off a little bit, and they might just drift this back up to above 23.50 at some point, to let all the people who are in it IPO get out, so they don't lose any further business from them. Just an idea, just a thesis. It's not an incredibly powerful thing, but if I line it up with maybe some price action, then you start to generate a reasonable trade idea. So Thursday came and left it Friday. I saw this bit of support coming in around 18.30. Friday we broke it. I thought, okay, not happening. Then on Monday we pushed back above it. So Tuesday, and we started to look reasonably strong at the open. I thought, okay, I'm going to buy this now. If we pop up and we take out Monday's high, then I'll have a little nibble at this. And again, it's the tape, watching the tape. Is it confirmed? Yes. So I'm in. So I'm long King. and it's pushing up and had a really nice close on Tuesday, and I thought, great, that's really well timed. 2350 is my target. No need to do anything with it. We can have a stop, under this level here. It's a swing trade, it's got to give a bit more room, etc, etc, etc. Anyway, pushed up, sat through all this on Wednesday, think, okay, one pullback, that's fine. Thursday looked great, so it started to push back up again. Thought, okay, Friday now, if we can take out the 20, we could be into the 22s by next week. But of course, Friday was an absolute massacre on the NQ, and as we pushed up, and this little resistance level here and became support, I pulled my stop up to there on the Thursday, thinking I don't want it to go back down. Ended up stopping me out, so it was a scratch to a very small profit trade. But anyway, I'm going to be watching that next week. If that sets up again, happy to take it. But it's just something that's just worth watching. As I say, earnings week next week starts. Loads of stuff to watch. It pays to do some work overnight, even if you're not an intraday trader. If you could find some time to just scan through the charts of the earning stocks, use some sort of filter program, then that's a great thing to do. So really busy day on Friday, very aggressive day to the downside, and it looks like that's taken out a lot of bulls who are buying that for potential push up from last week. But we'll see. I'm not predicting, as I've not been in tune with the market from Monday to Friday. We'll see what happens, but it would be not a bad setup to get some follow through on Monday morning at least, if we don't gap up and we just sort of stagnate around the closing area. So we'll see what happens. Final reminder, guys, if you haven't signed up for it already, I've only got 3 left of these vouchers. Steve Ward's doing his online trading psychology course, and I think I've got 3 remaining. So going to have a look at that. That's well worth doing. I think it's in a couple of weeks time, so that's not long to go until that kicks off, and that should be a really good course, really good program that he's putting together. Going to have a look at that, have a look at the course contents and see if that's something that suits you. Anyway, good trading, guys. Manage the risk, please, and I shall be back with another video shortly. Take care.